Hello everyone and welcome. Yeah, it's one of those special races, if I can call it that. Pretty much double what we normally do. Of course, Thursday night's hour and a half race with 20-minute qualifying. Of course, tonight 3 hours of Nurburgring. Of course, you can see the Nurburgring GP layout there. Not the Nordschleife, because of course everybody, when you speak of Nurburgring, everybody automatically assumes Nordschleife, of course the green L, but no green L tonight. It's the GP layout, of course, but still challenging and exciting track. Of course, 3 hours tonight, which also means a 30-minute qualifying. So already a few minutes in, unfortunately, one of those things, as we always have, going from one session to the other, the kind of freezes and you have to restart everything. So just as we wanted the start of qualifying, we just had to redo it. So as you can see, Surpresa currently topping the timesheet there. Of course, still early days. But also a decent turnout, 15 cars to participate in the 3 hour. Of course, the more the merrier. 3 hours all about pacing yourself, endurance racing, fatigue and etc. will also coming in later. So you don't want to just go out, just give it a good old bashing up front. You also want to face yourself and play the long game, yeah? Couple of familiar faces, well, names actually. Of course, one guy everybody knows, Johan VDV. Of course, everyone knows him as Stocky as well. Don't miss the 76 race number of his. Also in the Bentley, couple of Bentleys on the grid again tonight. You can see quickly there it looks like 6. We got B Racing, of course he's always in the Bentley even in the season, so is Gaffig there. We got JJ the Greg, Stevens in one there, we got Blaze. We also here, of course, as we said, Toki, and we've got Alex the Boss also in a Bentley. Okay, see Mr. Primo Gamer's got some company in a Lexus tonight. Got a second Lexus on the grid. And one lonely Merc. Dex. So that Legend, of course, he made a move during the season to McLaren. I see he's sporting a different livery tonight. So there we go, just confirmation. There's Legend's livery. Of course, a guy, Mr. Wazzy, I know will love that livery, but no matter what. Of course, I see a couple of guys already there in the chat. Of course, as always, welcome. Appreciate the support. But also, not that a lot of people do it anymore, I would appreciate if you guys also post some comments there, be part of the chat. It also makes the streaming less lonely. Kind of gets a bit boring if you just hear your own voice the whole time, 3 hours especially. So by all means, be part of the chat, post your comments there. Appreciate that. Already Dexter in front is getting closer to Suppressor. It's now less than a second there between first and second. Gap's getting closer, of course. These probably that we see here in the midfield, probably just some banker laps. Still another 23, just under 23 minutes left, so those times will still improve. What Stocky's doing with that Bentley of his. Man racing with his hazards on. rookies or amateurs as they say, were red numbers of course. Lex, Blaze and Toki himself was pretty much newcomer to the setup, but of course Toki is no newcomer, it's just it can be the profile that he's using, obviously not his usual PSN. It can be that that profile is just recently used, or you know, most recent days that he started using that name to do his racing name. Emil now also going third. Single gamer is out the track. Not only is he staying with his Lexus, but he's also staying with his trusted livery there. No changes to that car. Pretty much being his car of choice for the last couple of races. He's doing endurance races. Of course, not to forget the last 3-hour race we had. Endurance race, of course, which was kinda, you know, seesaw. At the beginning it was kinda like one-way traffic and then things changed, but of course Single Gamer winning the last 3-hour race. Just keeping his car, you know, clean, stay out of trouble and being at the right time at the right place. And holding it out for the 3 hours, and he managed to bring it safely home. So the question is, can he do a repeat of that tonight? Of course, another guy that will be in the running, who also challenged him last time for the win, who actually came also onto the who also finished on the podium with the last 3 hour, or I might be just, you know, I have to correct myself here, but pretty much he was actually fighting Springbok Game and also legged the race a good couple of times. Of course, that is Mr. Mismax. Also in his trusted car, that Audi, loves his Audi. It was also one of his cars of choice back in the day when he did Project Cars 2. So he will also be in there, of course, to pressure a guy with some good speed. And we say, look, and at no means, you know, bad to the guys with the speed. I don't mean it bad in any way, but you have seen it before. Guys with speed, they can do the single lap, brilliant qualifying, do a good couple of laps, but when the race starts getting longer, endurance size, of course, things change. It's not just about speed, it's also about endurance. So then the speeds just tend to fall away a little bit. Of course, must also be said that Cipresa with a 1 hour races, which is the regular season, had a good season so far and actually finished races and won races. So can he hold on for an extra hour and a half and actually take the 3 hours? Of course, he's got the pace, but can he do it lap after lap for 3 hours? And of course overcome the fatigue and, you know, when your concentration starts going. So we'll have to wait to see. So there's actually a good couple of guys in contention here tonight for the win. And actually not just the win, but all for podium places as well. You know, decent grid, as I said, 15 guys, 15 drivers here. And there's a couple of them pretty much in it who can get their cars on the podium finish here. We're still just over 18 minutes ago of qualifying, when the race will eventually be underway. Can't wait for this race to finally get going. Actually, I can't wait for the finish, when we can see who's going to be our top 3. You can see the gaps pretty much there from 1st to 7th. There's not really much in it. Yeah, I know it's a second, almost 2 seconds, but gaps have actually become very closer, especially if you look at some of the speeds that some of these guys actually can maintain. The fact that guys are way off, it's just at the bottom, a big difference, but of course, it's also, you know, you have a guy here who's also still coming to terms of his car, also get to nervous, and you know, and the speed will come as you get to, you know, as you get more used to the game, lap by lap, you get the confidence, speed will come. It's not just about speed, it's about just having faith and, you know, enjoy yourself, the rest will actually come with time. Was just pulling over here for a faster car. There we go. Was that Bentley of B Racer for B Racing? There we go. You can't miss that distinct green and orange. The Jaguar color with orange of Holland. With his orange gloves and helmet. Also a guy that's enjoying his racing. Gamer also went a little bit faster now, only 1.3 seconds off. Gaspik, as you can see how close it is now, getting in front. Got the Fred 8 out there with his McLaren. A blue and green livery, of course. Nesmax also not far off, so the guys are getting faster, getting to know the track, get the feel for it, starting to identify where the grip is, where they can actually really put it down in the corner, or where they have to lift off. So the confidence is growing, so they will get faster, of course. This track will also keep on evolving. Of course, the other thing as well, what type of strategy, what fuel load you're going to run. Going to run long stints, short stints, whatever, so we will have to wait to see also who is going to stop the most, who's going to stop, you know, for the least amount of time, who's going to run those long fuel loads. Of course, there's also the odd accident stuff, long repair time, so all of those will contribute. So yeah, a good race, I believe, ahead of us. Here we go. You see, we got somebody, Sarge, making commentary. Thanks, Sarge, and welcome. So good luck with the race, guys. Go some stuff. Let's go, Johan and JJ. So some support here for JJ the Greek and Toki. Good to see. Of course, Nismax and Blaze there in the pits. Look, driving here with JJ was one of our Bentleys. So for once, Bentley is actually the one stacking up in numbers in the race. Previously it was Ferrari. Now only one Ferrari on the grid. Remember, Tom, there was only one Bentley on the grid. Of course, there is Jockey as well, so also Bentley. So both those guys there that Sarge mentioned, both in Bentleys tonight. Also there with his Honda, the only Honda on the grid. Yep, only Honda. It's green and black or livery. If you can do there with picking livery there on that Lexus. Well, a few scrapes on that bumper, but you know what, who cares? As long as you're still there in the end, that's what matters. Of course, most importantly, as long as you still enjoy your racing. Legend there with his little pink car. So it's the two McLarens on the grid, so as I said earlier, Legend making a swap earlier this season. Actually, the more you look at this McLaren, that livery do grow and looks nice. Of course, another livery that I also personally like looking at the regular season, the 1.5 hour races, of course, the guy called Nick Leon, or some people call him Nickelodeon, because really the name and surname makes me think of Nickelodeon. But also that bluish livery on that Ferrari beat, quite unique. Some of the guys actually put in the effort, and some of his liveries do awesome, I must say. Because we're looking at our Soul Ferrari, MO Chrysler, with even with the Italian lines at the back. You can't miss the Italian flag in that livery. Meantime, still no change in front, still Sorpresa with gap peak with, well, it was 3000s, but Sorpresa just went and improved his time a bit, so now we're back to 2 tenths the gap now. Let's max 3 tenths off. Well, if you look at 1 to 7, they're still less than 2 seconds. Just over 10 minutes to go. So far, Sorpresa will be our pole sitter. Don't say that's over yet. I saw it before, where pole got smashed right at the very end. So we'll give it till the end before we really say who's the pole. Oh my, wow, Daniel Morales. Mr. War Machine. It's been a while. A lot of support here for some stuff racing. So nice of the guys from the different leagues all team up together to put an event like this together. Also, one thing that everybody, what brings them all together is their love for racing. Everybody who plays this game is because they love the game, but also they love their racing. I mean, how many of us actually went to the Kalami 9 hour when he first came back to South Africa 2 years ago, where we actually saw these cars in real life. So the one thing, like I said, it's everybody's love for racing. That's why they all do this. It's always nice to see the different leagues also putting together to pull off a little endurance race or something like this. It's all about having fun, and of course to race with each other, all good. And it's nice to see when you guys watching this come out and show your support. Some people say, oh, it's just games, but some of us actually do take it serious. It's not real life, but for us it's kind of seems like that, and that's our escape from reality. Everybody who games will understand that. Those who've never gamed in their life might not. Nah, it's fine, Dan. You can send me the beer, no problem. There might be some beer later, but yeah, only for the commentator. Of course, also a different livery there. Changed a couple of races ago before the peak. Used to be that little purplish color with yellow greenish offset. Maybe just got fed up with my references to a Judge inspired livery. Because the purplish and greenish color scheme normally something that you would see with the Judge. It's been out now for a while. I hope the guy is doing well, and we would hopefully see him in the near future again. But yeah, now we've got the blue with the yellow. Not sure if we were thinking of police, but anyway, there we have a big still currently in second, we need Bentley. No change in the top 3. Even also with a nice looking livery on his Bentley. the legend still doing a solid 12. 6 tenths here from Toki. JJ the Craig still in 8th of course. You can already start seeing some battles, whoever battle's going to be, who's going to battle with who when the race keeps going. Just judging on those fronts, so let's hope it lives up to expectations. Just over 5 minutes to go. Just a reminder, of course, there might be a, well, not might be, most probably there's going to be a stop. Of course, one thing about this game, it doesn't really go over from one session to another. Joined the practice session, hopefully he was going over to qualifying, he didn't, I had to restart the stream. Sometimes it actually does go over from practice to qualifying without you having to restart it. But the one thing I never experienced is that from qualifying over to race, I always have to restart, so it means restarting the game and restarting the stream. So when we do drop off after qualifying, just bear with us. We will be back with the race, it's just a matter of restarting everything. So there will be just a second stream, if I can call it that, just for the race part. Blaze and Skippy are actually quite close to each other. Both were black and red. Skippy just in the Lexus where Blaze is in the Bentley. Skippy just going a bit of track there. But now we'll have dirty tyres. See Daniel saying there, Toki trap na die metaalbroer. No, Toki must trap a little bit harder there. Some more support coming out here for the sim stuff, guys. Nikki also just posting commentary support for JJ and Stocky seems a bit overwhelming in the moment compared to the rest, but you know what, I like to see that. Nice to see the support coming out. Nice to see you guys there on the chat also posting some comments. I love it. Of course, those of you who have been part of us for a while, I love it when the spectators get involved and post the comments to be part of the chat, so by all means, for those of you who just joined, please by all means post your commentary and be part of the chat. Just over to 2 minutes to go, then we will have our confirmation, but at the moment it's still looking pretty much a Preza, Gaspic and Mismatch there in front. JJ slipped down to 9th because Steven just edged him a bit, so Steven moved up to 8th. Because this is just qualifying, what the real stuff matters in the race. Daniel? Oh, that's what I want to say about, ooh, the boss and the Springbok. Springbok game and the boss just making contact there. Springbok game go off track. Springbok game having the pace was going to go for it. Alex got caught out there a little bit. Springbok game into the pit. So that's pretty much the end of his qualifying. Dan, that's a good one because who would forget those battles, of course, on Project Cars 2 with Toki and Nismac, but you're leaving one guy out that's been MIA for a while, and I hope he can find his way back here. It would be nice to see him on track. It's a pity he's not here tonight, because I can promise you he and Toki would have had a battle. Of course, Mr. Judge. Who will ever forget Judge and Toki? They're still holding on to that 4th place. Decent margin, 7-10 26, 25 seconds to go. And qualifying is officially over. As you can see, the time's up. Got a couple of guys already in the pits. Gatsby, B-Racing, Springbok Gamer, JJ, Greg and Forso. They're pretty much done. Emil Priceless also completed, and Skid Peak, and as you can see, so there's no change in those positions. Hey, Daniel, you know, man. All the racing. All the history, man. Being of course here at Sonic Sim, all back in the day at Midweek Racing. Of course, not to mention the times that you actually had also full span in the works and picked up with the race and raced with the guys on the odd occasion. Of course, it's all about having fun, the one thing that brings us all together, the love for racing. Of course, the big thing, of course, the start of F1 this weekend. 2021 season already now officially underway. Of course, what a good sight to see any other car other than a Mercedes on pole. Well done to Max Verstappen, Red Bull on pole, but Mercedes not far off, 2nd and 3rd. So Mercedes not that slow as they wanted to claim before the start of the season. But yeah, nice to see another car other than a Merc on pole. Of course, the main thing again is tomorrow the race, just like here. The main thing is going to happen here with a race, and which is due very soon. Just waiting for a couple of guys here just to finalize. Yeah, there we go. Finalize and saying that they need to cross the start finish line or come into the pits. Looks like the only one still out there is Legend. Coming through now, so there we go. First session then is officially done and dusted. Supreza takes pole with Gaff Peak, and Nismax lining up in 2nd and 3rd. Supreza did improve his time a little bit more at the end, so he managed to go under 155, so he did a 154.9, so that is our best time, of course, our pole lap time. As I said earlier, just bear with me, we just need to restart. As you can see already, the graphics disappeared, so that's a sign. We're going to have to restart the stream so we can get that race, so just bear with me. I'll just quickly do that, and then we're just going to start, and then that's pretty much going to be the race.